It's just a big problem, but the major problem is this. Since it's difficult for townships like Darby, like Upper Darby, like Lansdowne, to attack these kinds of people because the court system is also not our friend, because what ends up happening is they smack them on the wrist. They send them home with a $90, $100 fine. They pay that, and they never bring it up to code. So I get phone calls from many of you saying, my neighbor is not covering their trash, or my neighbor is not painting their property, or my neighbor is not mowing their lawn. It is because many of these properties are HUD properties. We have no way to go after the owner of that property because HUD sends them their check every month, whether or not they pay their taxes, whether or not they keep their property up to code. So it's a huge problem. I am asking, and I've already asked for the help of Senator Erickson, I'm asking for the help of our wonderful state representative and all of you to make phone calls to HUD, make phone calls to your congressman, make phone calls to your representative so that we can keep our property values as high as they can possibly be. And one of the reasons that they're not is because HUD is not helping us to do our job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor Gibson. It's been brought to my attention that we have some elected officials from Milburn. Sheila? Okay. Tom Judge? Okay.
Thank you. Jeanette McNeil, Milburn Borough Council President. The only thing I would add to what other people here have said, what we have seen in Milburn that is actually a very negative effect of not funding the schools well, is that many of our best families and our best parents, the people who are active in the community and working in the community, the people who are taking care of the kids and raising them well, are moving out. If we don't keep the quality of the schools up, that's what we're seeing. And Milburn is such a small community. I can count them. I know these people, and we're very sorry to lose them. And we work with them hard to try to get them to stay, but we can't. If their kids aren't being educated well, they will not stay because they know that their kids are the future. So it's one more reason to make sure that the schools are well funded. And so thank you all for your efforts.
And I can echo that. I think most of you all know that I am a mailman, and I've seen a few families actually leave Upper Darby to go out to like Westchester or Better School District, and this is one of the things that we have to take into consideration. We here at Action United, like I said, we want to help do everything that we possibly can to improve our community. We need people like you, people who are concerned about the community, people who are concerned about the school. When we make the effort, because every time when I pass out flyers quite a bit, and every now and then I'll get a person, I'll talk to an individual, and they will say something to me, well, somebody needs to do something about whatever. And everybody wants to put it on somebody. You hear that all the time. Somebody needs to do this. Somebody needs, well, you know, the thing of it is that somebody can be you. I'm willing to work with you. You can work with me. We can work together, and together we can improve our community. We can improve we can raise the standard of living, and we can work to change this deteriorating culture in Upper Darby. It's and for those of you who might be interested in joining Action United, because we work to make sure that every voice is heard, please see us tonight. Now, one thing I want to conclude with I thought about this, and I just wanted to share this. It came to my remembrance as I was sitting there. I am a product of forced busing. Back in 1970, I was bussed out of a poor black neighborhood into an upper middle class white school. I was the only black boy in my 5th and 6th grade classes. It got lonely at times. It did. And to this day, my wife has problems with me in my introvert. I became an introvert. But one of the things that I could not help but recognize when I arrived at this school in 5th grade, within a month, I knew that I was about a full year behind those students. There is a disparity in education from one neighborhood to another, sometimes from one school to sometimes all you have to do is cross the street. Now I had to work harder to catch up. But once I did, I received a much better education than I would have had I remained in the school that was in my neighborhood. I can't put a finger, and it wouldn't serve a purpose to try to point blame why it had to be that way. But what I want to say is I couldn't make a difference back then. My mother could not make a difference back then, okay? You know, Congress passed this, forced busing, okay? She took advantage of it. But what I am saying to you and to us is that in this particular circumstance, we can make a difference. We don't have to force bus anymore. It is essential that what we have started here as a core tonight about this budget cut to our educational programs, it cannot remain here. It has to continue to grow, and it has to go to Harrisburg. All of this has been fine. A lot of people have said some great things. We have received applause on a couple of occasions. But if it stays in this room, it serves no purpose. Encourage your neighbors. Encourage your friends. We all know someone who is just as concerned as we are. I have a daughter and a son who graduated from Darby High School. Now I have grandchildren coming through the school system. And I want to ensure that they receive the quality of education that any good parent or grandparent will want them to receive. But what I'm saying is, we have started the fight, but we can't let the fight die out right here. We must continue with the Harrisburg. I want to thank you all for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you once again to Mr. Erickson, Representative Erickson, and Aaron Congress. God bless you all.
When is it being voted on?
Excuse me?
When is the budget, they no one mentioned when it's going to be voted on. I mean, when does it set, when do our representatives?
There's a vote next Tuesday, 26th.
So
Senate
how
vote.
can it stop this? Is it now?
Well, we're going to Harrisburg on the 25th.